Kalispera, Julia.
Edith, Edith.
Oh, you got it right this time, huh?
6 months? Yes, it took. I got it.
Well, it's not too long, I tell you. So I'm happy to meet here again in Exploring Reality 23. Today is the 12th of April, 2021. And we received an inquiry from receptor 31, yes?
Yes, I just remember that it is the exact date I came to Greece 8 years ago, forever back.
Wow, wow, from Cyprus, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay, yes. So I will tell what the question was. It was, can you explain again that meditation is not changing the logic? It stays in plane 4 temporarily. It is a bypass and no change. Do you need the knowledge of the global convergent logic to change, in order to change? Do humans need to understand plane 4? And can you answer this question in another Exploring Reality? So here we are. And before we start, just to clarify that, well, we say meditation, and this is a very general term. The idea here is that it is energetic work, meaning it is temporal. In your personal validation, each of us does what works for them, yes? So having cleared that, let's start with an example. Let's say I would like to change the cupboards in the kitchen. This is a decision that I might take if the current setting doesn't serve me well. And what I need is not at hand or too high, or the drawer got messed up. And when I look for something, I can't find it. So I can take everything out and start to place everything again in the cupboard. And hopefully everything fits again and I'm happy with the new order. I did not do any structural change. I only changed the contents. Yes, and for a while, this setting will do better in relation to the new challenges I will meet whilst cooking and fixing dinner. But if the challenge is to change, let's say, my whole nutrition. Let's say I have to include shakes every morning and evening. Then I need to get a shaker. And let's say that my intestine cannot digest fiber and I need a juicer, which is a bigger machine. And I need everything else for my guest or the other members of the family. And for me, I need a juicer. And they need, let's say they need to be made only from organic vegetables, and that one member of the family is vegetarian, and that, or I decided to make my kitchen kosher, you know, kosher means no milk and meat together. Or let's say there is someone allergic to plastics or metal, so you need 2 sets of utensils. This sort of change will require a structural change, perhaps even to refrigerators. I might need to add on top or get rid of a lot of stuff that doesn't fit anymore. Change of contents in the cupboard will not make me a juicer, a juice maker, no matter what. It is a new resource that I need. Let's say, take another example. Let's take the roads. Say we want to fix a road. So the workers and the heavy machines are working and the policeman blocks the road and signs to all the cars to go the other way. I need a policeman there all the time. They are working, otherwise it can become dangerous. But if the change is not fixing the road, the existing road, but rather a new plan of the traffic because of a new bridge or a metro, there will be a need to make the road, let's say, only one way, and you will need to place no entry signs accordingly. And this will be a structural change. So meditation is good for reordering, same contents within the same limits. And as long as the policeman is there all the time, it is like cleaning the sidewalk, and the next day you need to clean it again. It's like eating. We eat today doesn't mean we will not be hungry tomorrow. We sleep today doesn't mean we will not be tired tomorrow. Even if we sleep a lot today, we still go to sleep tomorrow because this is the program. So if I meditate every day, I might be able to change one program for another. It's an exchange. Say the program of going to sleep at 10, I can change it by the program of going to sleep at 11, or going to sleep after a hot shower, whenever that happens. All this within the limits of the engravings in the plane that holds the structures of things for us, our bodies, our psychologies, our identity, and so on. In plane 4, we are very connected to the cultural civilization and much less to the species. This is its nature. It gives us stability. Let's say the 4 legs of the table, or if you'd like, the 4 chambers of the heart. It holds. But at the same time, it is a buffer as against 7, the origin of the whole projection of the origin in slower planes. It blocks us from seeing 5 in our daily need to function within a society, within its rules, and be more or less normal, doing what normal people do. As an example, if you need to pay your taxes, the regulation of which is being done from 5, you are seeing 4 as the authority that tells you that you need to do it and how much. But in 5, there is a whole set of considerations to provide a given system for the unfolded. And yes, you might be able to reach in your meditation glimpses of 5, but in order to establish a permanent connection, it will not suffice. Especially not when the emotional body will turn reactive once again because of a certain conflict with, say, that person that drives you crazy. To include that person in your perception as a part of actually yourself, this is done only with a logic connection, with the beating origin. And in this case, it is not a question of you being able to withhold your reaction, to make an effort to not react. Rather, the emotional body will simply not react. And this requires concepts, special times concepts, language, and speed. It requires energy. If the system, like in the computer, if the system has got bugs, then it is slowed down. And what is faster, one is not able to see. And we will deal with this point in a deeper manner in exploring reality 24, thanks to an inquiry from receptor 1. In plane 4, we think in polarities. It is dual. This is good and this is bad. But in 5, we see that the good and the bad are parts of a whole, just different perspectives. So in 4, we have a picture that seems permanent when it is actually temporal. Time opens up linearly in plane 4. And within plane 4, we can only change perspectives of the same reality. A good example would be that we are riding a bus, which is our 4, and the driver is 5, and he decides towards which destination it takes you. So you can switch places in the bus, but you are not driving. Sometimes you see people who were poor and all of a sudden they win the lottery, let's say. But the logic stays the same. Or a man who is used to gain things by force, and all of a sudden there is a woman who loves him and they do not need to take by force, but they will still be aggressive, even passively aggressive. Because if the logic stays only divergent, we stay inside the matrix and keep believing this is the only reality. Remember that part in the movie when he wants to taste the steak and drink the wine and forget all else? Only when you see the structure of that reality, the ability to reach a new potential begins, which is 6. Your space-time vehicle changes course. You are able to see beginnings and ends altogether, rather than just the moment to moment. Staying within the limits of 4 does not enlarge your consciousness because you have no reach or little reach for the unconscious. Meditation is what we call done with the right brain, and logic is done by the left brain. And it is not one or the other, it is both, but first the logic. So it is a logic connection to the nothing, to the non-existence, rather than an energetic connection, which is temporal. So I am not only what has been written in plane 4. I am the essence that uses the vehicle that is functioning inside that particular project. And it is not the same. Now, the question also has a PS. And the PS says, when you explain this subject, my body started to get really very warm. What is the meaning of this? Well, I can say that plane 1 responded. Perhaps plane 1 resonated. I don't know which kind of warm. It would depend on planes 4, 3, and 2. But it means that there is a physical resonance to it and that you saw it, which is 3 seeing 1. The collective receptor you are exploring, 31. Now I have an addition from yesterday. I simply heard a friend of mine who meditates every morning, And he told me that he is very engaged in exploring reality, in trying to read the signs. And all of a sudden, a big accident happened to him that showed not a car accident, not a physical accident, but something happened that showed him he was not reading the signs. This is a structural limitation because he's reading the signs from the human context in which he functions. And this is okay. It is a means of survival. We all do it. But the logical connection has derivated the condition of having to survive. The essence is not concerned by surviving. The essence is volunteering. So do you have to understand plane 4, you ask? It is a must to observe the 4 existential mistakes. The need to survive, the need to protect, the comparison and competition, and the need to complete the absence. Plane 4 introduces, and these 4 existential mistakes introduces a buffer between us and the source of existence, which is the non-existence. And I hope this clarifies as far as we can.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Edith.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you for your companionship and your time.
It was very connected. Thank you very much.
Until next. Bye-bye.
Sure. Bye.